when we bought our own land cash, when you go to the solicitor, you do the conveyancing for the title deed. And in fact, I'll just talk about that a bit as well, explaining that. But basically, your solicitor is, you're paying them to help you out and explain everything, but they don't really. They explain the bits that they think is important to you. You sign the dotted line, and somewhere on that contract, that deed, it'll tell you your local authority is whoever they are. But really, what they're doing is giving, and it works in your benefit, that some space, land, road, path to them, the local council, of which, very nicely, for the council tax you pay them, they maintain that road, that hedgeway, and the path. So you have a lovely path outside. If you don't, maybe you should be going to having a little chat with your local council, because in theory you own up to the middle of the road, and you don't really want the hassle of the other. And I've heard lots of little funny stories where some people go to the council and say, well, can you take your rubbish tarmac off my road? Otherwise I'm going to start charging you. Yeah, that's a bit of fun, but actually you need the council. There's got to be some sort of infrastructure in case you ever need it, or other people might want it. But going back to the deed on my dad's land registry, which we've always said from day one, and Carl's pointed out 100 times, and I'll say, yep, you're right. It's the same like your car documents. It says that on land registry documents in the UK, it says, my dad is the title holder. And then the next sentence says, this document is to identify the owner. But they're two separate sentences. And if you look up title holder, and Carl was explaining this to before, he was saying title holder means that you're a leaseholder. If you're a leaseholder, that means you're the tenant. So prior to that, you thought the two sentences were mixed together. You are my dad is the title holder. This document identifies the owner. So now you know the two sentences are separate. So the next question should be, hang on, who the hell is the owner then? But if you read right down the bottom, it says own property of Crown Estates. So the owner is actually the Crown. So the document's actually right, but that's not what you thought it meant. But if you look up the word owner, it's somebody who takes possession, which I thought, yeah, Carl's right. So that's actually what we've done on our land. Although we've not actually thought it through, my dad was the one who paid for it cash. He's the title holder, but he doesn't really have much to do with it. He leaves it to me. I act as owner. I go there. I've taken possession. I do my farming. I do my day-to-day. So it's, the paperwork doesn't quite reflect what's happened, but now, I suppose, which is the threat really, is that I'm actually turning up as an owner, because prior to that, the wonderful thing that the Crown is, it can never turn up to actually claim to be an owner. Only a man can do that. And guess what? That man done it. And that man removed the council authority from to act as the local authority and to work over me and apply the Crown rules, regulations, terms and conditions of employment, I don't know, whatever you want to call them. For me, it was planning issues. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go back to that. And yes, that's right, Terry, mommy state. So basically remove that, because I'm old enough, big and ugly enough. I don't need spoon feeding. I don't need my ass wiping. I don't pay council tax, oddly, in that county. I don't get any dustbin collection. I don't get anything from them. So I don't need anything from the council. So although it's a nice thing and it probably works great, and I do use a bit of the road, but then I pay road tax for that. And that goes into eventually funding for the road that I do use. So, that works. That's fine. I'm happy with that. I like nice, clean roads so they don't mess my suspension up and my tracking on my vehicle. So, some things work. But, I did a lovely, nice, crafted notice to them saying, I know that the council works in benefit of man and mankind, but over the last few months, I don't believe that's the case. I don't feel that you've really looked out for me. So I either have to make a decision, then I either carry on with you, or carry on without you. And I've chosen to carry on without you. I'm going to open my own nation state and I'll start my own thing. But if you look up these BBC documentary, I think it might be even a three-part documentary where I'll actually show you different ones. And there's one that's just, if you type it in fact, let me open it up on Google. I'll tell you what I typed a couple of years ago, oddly enough. Right, what I've typed in Google is how to start your own independent state. Now you'll find loads of stuff on this, 200,000 different results, foreign policy, a wiki how to start your own country. That's quite a good one, a 12-step guide, a 10-step guide, but you have to own the land freehold, by the way. So it's going to be a bit tricky for some people with loans and stuff if they're racing ahead, thinking all sorts of other stuff.